to 3 seconds. Hold on. Hey, welcome back to Matter of Fact. Today we got Like, Love, Block for y'all. 3 favorite picks from both of us in terms of spreads, over unders. Last week went 2-1. These past 2 weeks I'd be 4-0 if I just got rid of the London picks. But how do you feel about some of these matchups and what Vegas is thinking this week?
I mean, personally, I think that these are a lot of fun matchups. Like this is like one of the better scheduled weeks we got. Nicely, I'm lucky enough for the Cowboys to be on the bye, so I can enjoy the entire week. Sweat free without having to deal with that bullshit. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I think obviously San Fran's like probably the biggest game of the year so far, biggest game of the season. Might be the best game of the season.
Super Bowl rematch.
Right. Interested to see what New York does on Sunday night. We get a rush showing, we got a lot. We definitely got a lot going on. We got a game. We got a big game for you guys against Philly and New York. And then we got this Houston Green Bay game where, I think that's just gonna have a lot of fireworks for fireworks too. So yeah.
I think Seattle, Atlanta's a sneaky one too. Sneaky fun game, high power offenses, defense, nothing to write home about. So I think that one's going to be decent too.
And then we ain't even talk about Detroit and Minnesota. So it's just like this is just one of those weeks where like it's going to be a lit Sunday. Just sit back and just enjoy the chaos. Like this is what we came here for. This is what we signed up for. Not all these goddamn injuries.
Nah, for real, man. Hey, you got me excited. Like shit. Man, they need to hire you. Promotion. But you want to get started with your picks or what?
Yeah. I can get started. So what's the first one again? Like, lock, love, whatever. Like, love, lock.
Like, love, lock.
All right. Well, my first pick, the one I like, I guess I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks versus Atlanta. Where is it at? I just saw it right here.
You just passed it.
Yeah. I'm going right here. And my reasoning for picking this game basically is I like the money line on Seattle. Again, I like this game. It's not a love or a lock, whatever the situation is, but I think out of all the teams that have a chance for like an upset, I think Seattle against Atlanta, I think Seattle has a chance. I mean, Atlanta, they're doing well, they're playing well. It looks like they're starting to gel on offense, and they're getting a lot of things figured out. You know what I mean in regards to the roles. Kyle Pitts, he's playing strong. We got to give it to him. When he wasn't playing good, and we said that he really wasn't an option in the offense. He comes out and he has like 80 yards, and then he had to back another 70-yard game. So that's two.
Hey! I was on the pendulum swing. I was like, hey, he's due. So
right. But did you think he was going to do it again, or did you think he go back to being regular?
I don't even pay attention to him because I don't like stressing out. I don't draft him. I don't take him for props like that. I took him for props for that first game. So to your point, no, I didn't even think about it.
Right. And again with Seattle, like I just think that it's just one of those situations where they've been in a bunch of tough games, and they kind of they came on the wrong side of them. So they're 3-3, and they play like a 3-3 team. But the thing with teams that are 500 is you never know which one you're going to get. And if you get the Seattle that's throwing bombs, and DK Metcalf is catching passes, and they got Tyler Lockett cooking over the middle, and they got Jackson Smith and Jigba involved, that's going to be a nice high scoring game, which I think they could compete in, even though I know Atlanta can also. I just could see a few things going Seattle's way this time, and them coming out with a victory. And also as well, like the way that Seattle has kind of lost a bunch of games that were unfortunate and just didn't go their way at the end. Atlanta's won a few like that. You know what I mean? Just like as they're 4-2 right now, they could have easily have been 2-4. You probably could agree with that. If we talk about
yeah, for sure. Even the Eagles match up a couple.
Right. A couple. Yeah. So, and I mean, they're 3-2 against the spread. But again, they definitely could have lost that Tampa Bay game, and they played Carolina. So We don't think that they're trash. We just think that, you know, the record might be some value here on the money line with Seattle. So
Kind of
I like.
reminiscent to that year where they won 13 games, but really close. Ironically, that was with the Vikings and Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins, a little bit more clutch than the media wants to give him credit for. So, should be a good one. So, what are you taking there? Are you taking the hook with Seattle?
No, well, I'm actually gonna take the yeah, I'll take the hook, so I'll take the Seattle +3, but I'm also a little bit on the money line because I actually like I think that they have this should probably be an even game. Should probably be, and I mean it kind of is even. The home team gets 3 points. So I just really
So it's really not even then, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. You know what I mean? So I just think that this could be a possible upset spot for Atlanta. For Atlanta. And they've been playing well. They haven't lost a game in a minute. I think that they might get one.
Nah, for
Uh
real.
all right. For the next jump, I'm going with New York. And the reason I'm picking New York is because I think that, this not necessarily because of the addition to Devontae Adams or anything like that. I just think that they're in a spot where they really, really need to win. And, they're going against a team that's kind of like, no, we're gonna throw out our new quarterback, our 35-year-old quarterback, and have him start this game. First game of the season for Russell Wilson. And I don't even want to say that this is a fade on Russell Wilson. I just think that this is really a spot where like regardless of what they got going on, the Jets need to win this game. Like this is one of the games that they have to win if they think that they're going to make a run. And obviously, like the addition of Devontae Adams can be a benefit to them. But I think that right here is just one of those spots where yeah, New York just kind of just scores more than they do. Russell Wilson, we don't know what we're going to get from him. Already, the wide receiver core for Pittsburgh isn't the best. I know they got George Pickens, but again, we don't even know where his head's at half of the game. So this is just one of those spots where I think that they match up. New York's defense matches up well with Pittsburgh, and they're not really going to be concerned with the running game, especially without Justin Fields there. The thing with Justin Fields is, he might not be all of that, everything you want as a passer, but that element that he gives you as a runner is something that defenses have to account for. So with Russ at 35 years old, I don't necessarily think you have to account for him running out the pocket or him, breaking for 35 yards or getting 2 rushing touchdowns compared to Justin Fields. And I don't think that his arm his arm accuracy and all of that at this point in time in his career is just such a better solution than or better option, I
So
guess,
what?
than
What?
Justin Fields.
Let me cut to the chase because I'm glad you picked this one because I was thinking about using this one, so I won't because I have a couple in stock. But I'm fading Russell Wilson personally. What do you think about the decision to do that? Kind of head scratching to me, but
Uh, so if I didn't understand it, it would be head scratching to me. Like on the surface level, they've been winning. It's 4-2, and Justin Fields, like he's perfect kind of for the offense. Even his deficiencies don't matter as much in this offense. But I think that it's just one of those things where Mike Tomlin gave him a handshake. He said, I promise if you come here, you sign with us for this amount of money, we'll give you opportunity. And I think he's just being a man of his word, and he's giving Russ this opportunity. What Russ does with the opportunity, we'll find out on Sunday. I think that's actually something that's going to be a entertaining element of this football game. But yeah, I think it's just one of those things where Mike Tomlin probably, as a man, gave him like a guarantee that he'd be able to have the starting job, and I think that's what's going to happen Sunday. He's going to start. If it's a disaster, I think that they'd be 100, like they're 100% justified in going back to Justin Fields also. So I just think that this was like one of those places where Mike Tomlin decided like, okay, Russ is healthy now. We're going to let him get his starting job back, and then they'll go from here and assess it after he plays a full game.
Let's take it back a couple years, and this might be more than a Tomlin handshake. Maybe Roger Goodell's doing a little bit of meddling because I don't know if you remember when Tom Brady won that ring with the Bucks. Russell Wilson was in the box with Roger, stressing out like, "Oh, that should be me," and that's kind of what pushed that Broncos move. This game is also interesting because the Broncos got Nat Hackett that year because they were trying to get Aaron Rodgers. So
So
a lot of moving pieces there, but I like something about it being Sunday Night Football and they're just throwing Russell out there. You know, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist myself, so I feel like
well,
Roger
I
might have something to do with that.
I don't necessarily think it had anything to do with Roger. I didn't want to get in depth like that, but I think it probably has something to do with wink wink deal with the agent and Mike Tomlin. Whether it been in regards to the contract that Russ got, because he's like on the vet minimum. It's not like they're, you know what I mean? They're not even paying him 10, 15. They're not even paying him backup QB money. So like the Pittsburgh Steelers got a steal in Russ if he can even give him 2 games of good production. But I think this is maybe a conversation that was had with the agent, and the agent probably was like, "All right, well, I'm not going to come out and bash my QB and say like, oh, he just doesn't have it or he's not the starter, da 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 da. But what we'll do is we'll say that he's hurt, and then when you're ready, we'll let him start a game, start it on national TV on Sunday Night Football where everybody's going to be watching." And this is a shot. Like this is a showcase. This is a showcase. Whether it goes well, good for Pittsburgh. If it doesn't go well, all right. Well, you know what I mean. We have our solution. So I just think it was one of those situations where, yeah, they liked Justin Fields, but it got to the point now where, you know, they're gonna give him the shot. They're gonna give him the shot on this Sunday night game. It does not make sense. There's no rhyme or reason to this, outside the fact that I think this is Mike Tomlin being a man of his word to either Russ or Russ's agent.
Gotcha. Well,
Yeah.
I agree with that pick. I'm just fading Russ. And I saw an interview with Najee where it's definitely a little bit awkward. Justin Fields just overall a more likable guy. You saw how that
Right.
Bears locker room, how DJ Moore felt about losing him, and I
Mhm.
think those guys like him over there. Najee Harris said this is the best start that the Steelers has in his opinion, in his career. So, you know, he wasn't trying to shade Russ or anything like that. Wasn't trying to stir anything up, but he did kind of back Fields there. And I think, you know, he's a good locker room
And
guy and he's a good surge of energy for that offense. And like you said, in terms of the X's and O's, he adds a dynamic aspect to this offense that Russell Wilson just can't anymore.
yeah. Right. To Justin Fields, I can tell, you know what I mean? Like like he that team leadership or like him being like a good team locker room guy, it's true because like you said a few weeks back, DJ Moore was upset that, he wanted him to be the quarterback and they were down with winning with him. There was players on Chicago that were down with winning with Justin Fields, and he goes to a brand new team. It's a completely different locker room, and you know what I mean? He wins the guys over again. And these cats are willing to go to battle for him. They don't mind playing for Justin Fields.
And then on the
And
opposite end of the
um,
spectrum, Russell Wilson doesn't seem very well liked by any team that he's been on, even though it was Seattle for a long time. It's very telling, kind of similar to what I was saying about Mekhi Becton, talking about the Jets. Richard Sherman in retirement, he's doing TV, he's doing his thing. And Doug Baldwin, for your receiver to kind of relish in your demise is very telling. So, you know, you
yeah,
have somebody who's younger, more relatable, a lot more quote unquote real than what Russell Wilson
right.
appears to be. But this is his chance.
This,
Big,
and
you
this
know,
this is yeah, and this is the stuff that only happens in Pittsburgh. Like only Pittsburgh uh trots out the 35-year-old quarterback over the 25-year-old quarterback. Like
kind of
that's
like
just
they were hanging on to Big Ben a little bit too long. I mean, he was a broken
right.
man, and it was like, actually, I'm glad I brought that up because that kind of goes into your Mike Tomlin thing. Yeah, it's kind of like a mom and pop type function where it's like, hey, Big Ben, you won us 2 rings, and we're not just going to kick you out of there, even though it's clearly time to let you go. Even Peyton
Bro,
Manning got the boot. Tom Brady got the boot. You know
bro,
what I
this
mean?
man
Like,
was this man had a bad shoulder, and they clearly needed a quarterback, and they traded a first round pick for a safety. I mean, that's all you have, and it worked. And it worked. That's all you gotta say. That's all you gotta
that
say. They
that
don't care about offense.
it's very blue collar Pittsburgh, Steel City. Shout out to them. We got them Steeler ties, but so you're
Yeah.
lock of the week.
Lock of the week. Cincinnati, man, they gotta have it. They gotta have it. They gotta have it. They gotta beat the division rival. They need to win. They just gotta have it. The back's against the wall. They don't have time for any more mistakes. So I just think they don't play with their food at all this weekend. They come in to Cleveland where they actually haven't been playing that well. And I think this is their time to strike. You got to kick. Sometimes you got to. I don't do it personally, but sometimes you got to kick a man while he's down. And uh, the nasty man is down right now. So you gotta, you gotta. Oh, is that you? Okay, yeah, you kind of
Oh,
gotta,
my bad. I wasn't trying to present. Go ahead.
yeah.
Put that joint
But
down.
but yeah. So uh, I just think this is a situation where Cincinnati goes in there and yeah, they take care of business. They don't make sure that it's not close at all. Try to get it close to a 2 point lead on them, 2.2 score lead on them, and then yeah, from there, I just think that the way that the Cleveland Browns are playing right now and the adjustments that they have to make to their offense, they're not going to be capable to compete with Cincinnati if they're able to put up 24 points. Simple as that. They just got to get to 24 points. If they can get over their team total, they're winning this game and they're covering. So if you want to parlay the team total, Cincinnati's team total, and Cincinnati to win, that might give you a nice
What is
little.
that team total?
The team total is, let me see, we can go. Let me see, we could find it. I wanted to
And
say it was 24.
potential Nick Chubb return doesn't deter you from this at all?
Uh, Respectfully, no, because I mean this is his first game back, so it's not even one of those situations where this is Nick Chubb that's already revved up, ready to go. Like he's getting revved up. This is his first game back. It's not like they're playing the Nick Chubb that's ready to go for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think that Nick Chubb is capable of doing that, but it might not. It might not be until November.
Yeah, I mean that was a gruesome knee injury. Hope he gets back to his elite self, kind of like AP did back in the day. Your boy Dak. Um, the sports science is at another level today. So hopefully Nick Chubb returns and he's 100% for your bet. Hopefully he's not as effective, but yeah, that one scares me though. That's a risky one. That's definitely a risky one to
Yeah.
me. Division
What?
game. Uh,
Oh, the five and a
that
half.
pick. Yeah, that
I'm
five and
telling you,
a
man,
half.
they gotta have it. That's why this got a 4 star. Oh, but actually, it's going to 4 star to Cleveland. Well, I mean, it makes sense, honestly, to take Cleveland, but it's like I've been fading. I mean, I've been losing because of Cincinnati this entire year. I had them beating the Pats and they lost. I had them beating the Redskins and they lost. Like this is finally the time where they're gonna give me my bread back. Like, come on, let's go.
Oh man,
I
you
don't know why I
chasing the
can't find
dragon.
I don't know why I can't find a team total right now. But I mean, it's not even that I'm really for real. I feel like it's not even like I'm chasing the dragon though. To me, like I feel like this is a spot where they need to win, and what the Cincinnati Bengals are good at, which is throwing the ball to Chase Young and T Higgins. Right now, the Cleveland Browns are bad at. They're bad. The only place they're bad at is their pass defense.
All right. Well, hopefully that hits
And
for you.
and they're 1-4. Shoot, they are 1-5 against the spread. Like
So you're hoping that trend kind of ends. Yeah, I mean I could see the Bengals going on a run where they go on a little win streak because the Bengals were used to them being slow starters, and if it's a time to get right, this is the time. Like very likable quarterback, very talented quarterback in Joe Burrow versus a guy that really shouldn't even be in the league, to be honest.
Right. And I mean, I don't think that this is when they're going to make the QB change. Now, if Jameis were to
Me
get
either.
in, I'm not going to lie. If Jameis were to play, maybe I'd take the +6. I'm not even going to hold you. I would probably take the
A Nick
+6.
Chubb return
But
with Jameis would keep me completely away from this game.
yeah,
Honestly, it'd make me want to take the over.
right. But yeah, with Deshaun Watson, I mean, his betting. Okay, put it this way: his betting prop for his over for yards was at like 186.
That's lower than your boy Bo Nix.
Yep, exactly. So
Hey, all right. Well, that's your three. For me, this is a game. There's a lot of games this week where I kind of want to sit back and enjoy it and not sweat. But I feel like the Detroit Lions are like tailor made to beat this Vikings team. I think to beat this Vikings team and this tough Brian Flores defense, you're going to need to be able to run the ball. This is like the best running team in the league. To me, this is the best tandem between Gibbs and Montgomery. And you get that play action going with Jared Goff and the Lions with one of the best O lines in the league, if not the best. You have Glasgow, Ragnow, Penny Sewell. I mean, line is stacked. Running backs are going. Offense is really gelling, and I think the Vikings are due. Yeah, they're 5-0, but some of those games were close towards the end. They're not really finishing games the way they really need to. And I think this is a great spot for the Lions to go into Minnesota and pull this upset. So I definitely get the line at -1.5. It's going to be a tough one. I feel like I'm going to be sweating this one out. But I think if the Lions come in with that game plan, the only thing that's scaring me a little bit is the lack of Aiden Hutchinson. I wish him a speedy recovery, but I think the Lions could get this one. I think they're really tailor
yeah,
made to beat this Vikings team.
yeah, and I mean, this is one where I actually have a bet placed on Detroit too, but I just didn't want to include it because this is just clearly one of the games of the week, so I knew we'd be talking about it. But yeah, I mean, I you can make the argument for Minnesota. I just think that you know Jared Goff right now, I think what Ben Johnson is doing, I don't even think this is like Jared Goff versus Brian Flores. Like I think this is Brian Flores versus Ben Johnson with Jared Goff throwing the football. You know what I mean? And I think that uh if it was any other offensive coordinator, maybe I'm kind of like, yo, I don't know. Jared Goff, I think that Brian Flores is gonna have something for his ass. But I think whatever Brian Flores is cooking up, I think that Ben Johnson has an answer for it. So I think that that kind of ends up being beneficial for the Detroit Lions, and that's a way for them to pull this out. And 83% of the bets are on this money line plus 105.
Oh, really? On the
Yeah,
Lions?
yeah,
That
on
that
Detroit.
that does not make me feel good. But I'm so wrong though. The science is
Right.
there.
This is the most public bet underdog of the week.
Oh my god. All
So
right.
the whole everybody's on it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody, but
I
pros are too though. Pros are too. So it looks like you know what I mean. It's just one of those spots. So we'll
right,
see.
right. All right. So that was my like what I love. Give me the Commanders over. Not taking the spread here, but I like that 51.5. Reason why this Panthers defense is like the worst in the league.
Mhm.
Commanders hard to really stop them, but the Panthers with Andy Dalton under center, they could score. I mean, assuming
Right.
now this is assuming Deontay Johnson plays, but Chuba Hubbard's looking like damn near like a top 5 running back in the league. He's looking really good. Is Jonathan Brooks playing?
He's not playing in this game, but I think they're getting ready. I think they activated his 21 day period off the pup. So he has 21 days from the time that they activated him off of PUP to be activated to a game day roster. So if it's not this week, it should probably be, next week or the week after that. And the only reason I'm saying that is because if he is not activated within a 21 day period, he is inactive for the rest of the season. So yeah, we should expect Jonathan Brooks here soon, or not at all.
Gotcha. Well, yeah. In terms of their offensive pieces, I still like it without Jonathan Brooks. Like I said, Chuba Hubbard's been balling. Xavier Leggett has kind of been doing this thing, and then Deontay Johnson's the clear-cut wide receiver one there. I don't think Washington's defense really scares me. I could see Washington getting up early and Andy Dalton having to throw him out of a hole. So I really like the over here at 51.5. And for my lock of the week,
And Washington has covered the over in all their games except for the New York Giants game.
because that defensive line is the best in the league over there in New York. But yeah, you give me Washington against a shaky defense, I'm taking over. You give me Washington against a trash defense, I'm smacking the over. So that's my logic.
Another play, well, just a player prop, but another prop to consider is Brian Robinson, anytime touchdown, or maybe even first touchdown.
Okay. I'm not a big fan of first touchdowns. I mean, it's great value, but
right. But I mean, that's again, that's if you want to, but
yeah. No,
anytime touchdown is he's going to get a rushing touchdown, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I can see that. I might have to add that to it over Brian Thomas, and then don't worry about that big spread. Don't like the big spreads that much. So this is my lock. I got the Chiefs off the bye, Andy Reid off the bye. I know it's a little bit cliche, but I just think with Pat Mahomes and what he's doing with Andy Reid's scheming, I think they brought out like 4 tight ends last time we saw these boys. I think he just knows what to do against the Niners. I think this is a spot for the Niners where you don't know what to expect. I'm excited to see what Andy Reid has been planning off this bye, the different things he could do with Xavier Worthy and who he gets added to, this little secret recipe of this offense. Because I feel like coaches like Andy Reid, they kind of get up for these situations where they're limited with weapons and they have to get creative. They have to find different ways to win. And I think Pat Mahomes spreads the ball out. Travis Kelce gets open in space. And I think they just know how to win. So I like the Chiefs money line spread, however you want to take it. I like the Chiefs to remain undefeated. So basically, from my betting standpoint, I think we come out of this week with the Chiefs being the only undefeated team. Lions catch the upset in the division. Chiefs go to Santa Clara and make the Niners 3-4. So that's what I got for that.
You don't think that the Lions are able to score enough touchdowns to pull this one out?
The Lions, you mean the Niners?
Yeah. To where Kansas City isn't dictating the way the game script.
I mean, they can. I mean, I believe in Kyle Shanahan and I believe in Brock Purdy, but like I said, this is Andy Reid off the bye. And that defense is humming, and that 49ers defense is looking the worst.
No, well, that's right. But that's why I'm asking, because I think this is going to have, if there were to be, if San Francisco is able to pull this out, I think it's because they just scored 35 points. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's happening against this Chiefs defense. I mean, this Chiefs defense is the reason why they're undefeated. Don't
right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Don't make that mistake. Right. Pat Mahomes, I'm not really concerned with MVP talks this early in the season.
But okay, so I know you're saying that you don't think that script is going to happen. But I'm saying in the case that, say that script did happen, that San Francisco made it a shootout game. Do you think that who do you think would win in that scenario?
Chiefs. Give me Pat Mahomes. Yeah, give me
okay.
Yeah, give me
okay,
Pat
so
Mahomes.
there's no scenario. There's no
No, no,
scenario
no,
where
no.
you
I mean,
see.
I could easily see the Niners win this one, but
Okay,
I'm
okay.
just
I was just wondering
no, no, no.
because
I'm not saying this is like, oh yeah, like I'm a tease this to Chiefs -6, and this is just going to be, a steamroll. But at the end of the day, you give Eddie Reed time to recalibrate things. You give me a 49ers team without Hufanga, no Hargrave, still no Greenlaw, and you still got to worry about Nick Bosa and Fred Warner and Ward in the secondary, but the secondary's been kind of getting chewed up by teams. So, like I said, this isn't a Niners defense that would spook you
right.
like
This
in
not this
previous
isn't the
years.
Niners defense that they had when they were in the Super Bowl. This is a depleted Niners defense. But that's why I was talking more so towards you think the Chiefs got enough on offense to where because I mean when they played Kansas when they played the Saints the last time we saw them, they were playing the Saints. It's kind of like they were in control of that entire game. You know what I mean? Like Derek Carr was trash, even though Pat Mahomes didn't play that well until near the end of the game or whatever. They kind of were in control of that entire game, more in control than some of the previous games that they played in, to me at least. So I was just wondering how you would feel if San Francisco came out and they scored 7 real quick, boom. You did Kansas City just like all right, bet whatever, 7 right back.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we see Pat Mahomes in these situations all the time. Say what you want about Juju, but he came out, had like 10 catches, 100 yards. And, bro, I think they're just going to get fancy with it. You know what I mean? They're going to get fancy with it. They're going to get Xavier Worthy involved. I think we see a lot of trick plays through that. I think we see more 3 tight end sets where they do some crazy stuff that we haven't seen. I think Andy Reid had that time to pick the perfect game plan for this Super Bowl rematch. This is definitely one of the games of the week. I think there's just every slate has like 2 great matchups. I mean, and then we have a Monday night doubleheader as well. So yeah,
Right.
I mean, that's what I like here. I'm just betting against this Niners defense, and I think with Pat Mahomes with the limited offensive weapons, give me that over the Niners without some of their defensive Avengers, and that's what I'm taking here.
Okay. All right.
I'm guessing you're betting the Niners for this one, huh? Or you're
No,
not
I just
touching it.
don't know. I'm up in the air.
You're up in
Like
the
I
air.
like me, I'm like something's off with this shit. Like I'm just like something's off. Like the books know everything that you're saying, and 75% of the money is on Kansas City. But I'm like, why is it still? Why is this not? Why hasn't it changed yet? Like why is Kansas City still the dog? And like that's the part I'm like, what do they know? Like why?
I
Like they're
mean,
not even. It's not even a week 2.
home team gets 3, and I mean the Niners. You can't really sleep on them. I mean, they could easily have a better record right now if they didn't lose Moody. Maybe they beat the Cardinals. You
Right.
talk
And
about a
I
4-2 team.
yeah. And I just think and I think for them, having to like they lost, this is like a Kyle like there's just a Kyle Shanahan get right spot or like get back spot and stuff like that. Debo Samuels, like he does take those revenge games personally. You saw how they smacked up Philly last year. But like again, and I'm not saying that Kansas City can't win this game. For me, I'm still breaking it down and I'm still trying to figure it out. Like it's just like you said, this your love or your love of the week or
Lock.
lock of the week. And I'm just like, damn, that's crazy. Cause like for me, I'm like, I don't know yet. I just don't know. I just really don't know yet. Yeah.
Nah, I feel you. I mean, after this, they got the Cowboys Sunday Night Football, so maybe
So I
that's the
would
get right
prefer
spot for them.
well, I would prefer for this is a get back spot for them, not a
Yeah,
get
well,
right spot. They
well,
get back.
if they lose this joint and then they go, you guys are going to Santa Clara, that
Yeah.
it would be a get right spot.
Right. Yeah. But yeah. So we'll see. You know.
Oh, so that's what it is. You're hoping that the Niners win. They're coming off a high off the Super Bowl
Well,
rematch,
I
and then
wasn't even I
y'all
wasn't
come in
considering
there
that.
and y'all humble them.
Nah. So I can't be emotional like that when it comes to betting. So I wasn't even considering that at all. Like I mean, when you said it, it's like shit. I really hope that they win. But I'm just like really, I'm like, yo, all right, like what is scenario? Like I'm almost like, what are the scenarios of this game script? What happens in this game script? Who would be in control of this game script? Or like, I'm just kind of thinking of
I
everything
guess
that's going on.
I guess with me and in terms of the game script, the Chiefs are just a team. When I'm betting them, I'm really betting on how they close, not how the game starts. I'm really
Right.
worried
I
about
mean,
that
yeah.
second half. So no matter how the game script goes, I think they make the adjustments needed and they just come out with this dub just based off matchup, how these teams
Right.
match up really.
Yeah. So you feel like this is Kansas City no matter what. And it's just like I feel like a lot of people
It
feel
feels
that
like you
way. And
try to
I'm like,
talk me out of it.
no, no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just wondering why this line hasn't moved. Why it's moved more to San Francisco. Like it started at +1 and it moved to +1.5.
I mean,
It was
part
just
of it
like
might be the Chiefs are undefeated and they are depleted in terms of weapons. Like it's Pacheco's gone, Rasheed Rice is out for the season now,
right.
and you're relying on
Juju.
Juju and Travis Kelsey, who people think he's washed, even though he shows up whenever he needs to show up, and Xavier Worthy's more of a gadget guy, so you're
Yeah.
not really centering your offense around him. So I think in terms of the weapons they have on offense, maybe the fact that, Kittle, Debo, Ayuk, Jennings, maybe they're just like, all right, they're at home. Yeah, it's Andy Reid off the bye. I mean, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Maybe the
That's what I
money's
was
just
thinking. That's
balanced
what I
out.
was just, you know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, that's the only reason why I didn't include
It's
that
just
because
hard for
I'm
me to
like,
bet
that's
against
gonna
the
be tough.
Chiefs. The only time I don't like betting the Chiefs is when they have a big spread. You give me
Mhm.
Chiefs as a dog off a bye, this is just
Right.
smash spot to me. It just feels a little. It feels a little obvious to me, but maybe that's why you have a little ominous feeling vibe
Yeah, that's why
towards it.
I'm asking all these questions about this one because I'm like, wait, you don't like this don't just seem too easy to just, oh yeah, Chiefs, boom, plus
Yeah,
money, on the
I
Chiefs.
mean, Chiefs have a lot of those. Like Chiefs, like for the past couple of years, if you just bet them to win, I mean, if you're
Mm,
not taking them to, beat these big spreads, which they're not good at, you're making good money.
right. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, you know, good luck with y'all bets this weekend. If not, just enjoy the games. These are great games. Betting's supposed to be fun. Don't be putting college fun or the house on none of this.
Or the
Have fun with
kids
this
college
week.
fund.
The kids college fun. The house, don't want no parking lot accidents or nothing like that. If you catch my drift, but yeah, that's it for me. I think no London games. I think I go 3-0. I like all these picks, man. Give me the Lions. One undefeated team. It's going to be the Chiefs, and the Niners are going to have to regroup against Dallas that following week, and we'll see how y'all feel coming off the bye. Mike McCarthy off a bye.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
All right, man. Well, that's it for matter of fact. We got the facts for y'all. Like and subscribe. You got anything else?
Nope. Like and subscribe.
All right, we out here. Next up is going to be the games of the week, and that's going to be fun to talk about. We'll dive more into some of these games. I mean, we're going to dive more into that Chiefs game, obviously, teaser, and the Vikings game a little bit more. That's why I didn't really want to go too in depth with that one either. So, but yeah, besides that, we'll catch y'all.
See.